Hello. Again, this is Jason Davies. I'm doing my final video journal in regards to healthcare management, healthcare organization and delivery for Campbell University and Dr. Patrice Carter. Um, Now, as far as what I've learned during this past 8 weeks, first off, I would say that this past eight weeks have been extremely uh, taxing, and during this time, as I mentioned in some of my emails, the death of a friend, the hurricane, followed by family surgeries and complications, every different thing trying to that is drawing my attentions away from my schoolwork. But luckily, I was able to get everything done through all three of my classes. Um, so, a lot of prayer and support from both my family, Campbell University, and friends, have helped me throughout this 8 week. All right. So continuing on with Healthcare USA, um, the organization and delivery, it was a very good overview of exactly how the healthcare system or systems are in place and how they evolved from the early colony days until what it is today. I think that as the U.S. continues to uh, evolve and try to mimic some of the um, socialistic countries in Europe as far as their healthcare, I think that we will continue to see improvements with our healthcare. Some of the things that keep us unique is that based on a capitalistic society, we continue to improve mainly via competition, between different healthcare organizations, research and development firms, pharmaceuticals, etc. So that is one thing that I think that one should need to continue on, is that while also incorporating some of the, um, or at least trying to incorporate some of the social responsibilities that we as a nation have to our citizens. Um, the Continuing on with the organization and delivery, it highlighted, some of the key factors as to why the healthcare system is the way it is. Again, reverting back to the capitalistic thing, if we don't reel in or actually keep an eye and monitor exactly what's going on with the healthcare system as a community and not just as as representatives, telling us the way it is, but we as individuals need to also continually monitor and check to see exactly how these policies are helping us out and whether they are doing what they're supposed to be doing. Um, because there are differences and issues within the like the for instance the Netherlands model of healthcare systems. For an example is they do have a very social healthcare system where everybody gets healthcare no matter what. But they do have their issues. Some of the main ones is extremely long wait times for to get seen. The others are dependent upon how old the patients are, will sometimes determine the level of care that is given to the patients. An example is I half of my dad's family lives in Holland, and my cousin, her mother, who was 80, like 84 or something like that, um, she actually went into the hospital because she was complaining of abdominal pain, and with no exams, no X-rays, no CTs to actually see what is going on. They basically told my cousin, "Your mom has lived a very long life," and gave her pain meds and basically put her into hospice care until she ended up passing. In which she did end up passing because of hospice or because of constipation. Um, to hear that, really infuriates me. As far as how could a healthcare professional do something like that? Knowing the basis of their system and the extremity or the extreme um, usage of their healthcare system, it is basically overwhelmed to where these doctors have to make their educated decisions on how to treat patients and go forward to treat the most. So it's almost like on a daily basis they are triaging basically who has the best possibility of survivability, almost like it's wartime survivability, in which obviously we do not want that here. We don't want that to happen here. So we've got to be able to find the happy medium in between the socialized healthcare and the care that we have today, in which I think that we are making major strides toward that with legislation. Um, Obviously, there's a lot of people that don't agree with the ACA, and they think that it did a lot to the economy that was negative. But what they fail to remember is that the overall goal of the ACA was to help and augment and give people health care that they otherwise weren't able to give. I'm pretty sure that there are many stories where there is people here in the United States where they didn't have access to the healthcare and they ended up dying from from simple cases. They could be from constipation, and just as well as they did with my aunt in Holland. So um, eventually, as we as healthcare professionals continue to um, um, research, revise, and educate our community, we will eventually come to a healthcare system that best meets the needs of the society. So, that again, this was a great course about everything that about how the healthcare system is organized and the way that it delivers its services. So again, thank you, Professor, for everything that you've done. I really appreciate everything um, in your considerations. All right, thank you much.